our purpose was mainly to get the dance floor empty so that we could just go and do our thing. But I'm still the same boy, you know. I don't feel different than I did when I was studying or something. I'm still the same person. So I just don't think it works that way. So we had to quickly get out and run.
Run.
Yeah.
You didn't climb away?
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Welcome to our podcast When We Were Younger. My name is Isis and next to me is Luke.
Good afternoon, everybody. Glad you guys tuned in to the podcast, where we students will talk to adults about how the things used to be. Every week we talk about different subjects and look at the difference between the past and the present.
So today we're going to talk about partying and going out. Luke, are you actually a party animal?
I love to party. I think I almost go every Saturday out to Leeuwarden or Groningen.
How old are you again?
23.
23.
Do you think I'm too old to party? Or
No, I thought you were younger, actually. I'm also 23 and I can't go every weekend, man. I don't know, I just can't handle alcohol as well.
No,
Back in the days. I don't know what happened.
I must say the hangovers are getting worse, and
Yeah.
I have to, I have to lay down the whole Sunday, but it is what it is.
I have to drink like 4 liters of water just to... And yeah, I hate it. I hate waking up with being like, oh, water.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's go to our guest. And as a guest today, we have invited Marc at Hart.
Yep.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Marc at Hart. I'm a teacher at Creative Business. I'm 62 years old. So we're going to talk about the past, indeed, when it goes about going out. Yeah, so that's it. What else you want to know? I'm married, 4 children, 1 grandchild as well. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Our listeners would like to get to know you a little bit better. So we have a few superficial dilemmas.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask them and let's you and Luke answer them and talk about it.
Great.
All right.
So if you have to choose, wine, beer or a cocktail?
Wine.
Most of the time I drink beer.
Was it always the wine or when you were younger, was it
Yeah, beer as well.
beer as well?
Yeah.
Never a cocktail man?
I've had them, but I've never been a fan of them. No. You get too drunk.
Isn't that the point though?
Well, that's the point of discussion as well.
Okay, yeah, true. And would you prefer money or intelligence?
Money or what?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Yeah, absolutely.
I would love both, but
That's the dilemma. You have to choose.
then give me money.
Money.
Stupid choice.
Stupid choice.
With
No, I'm kidding.
intelligence, you can make something. You can be the new Elon Musk when you have good.
And then you'll make
intelligence.
money.
And then you make money.
That's a fair point.
And do you prefer take out or eat out? So go to a restaurant or take out and sit in on the couch.
Oh, restaurant, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, restaurants.
Yeah,
I love
also.
the experience of a restaurant.
Yeah, and just love that people just bring you everything. You don't have to do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So let's start with party questions. So can you tell us where you're from and what you studied? You already told us you're 62 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, originally I'm from the west of the country, Rotterdam. I was born there. And I moved to the north when I was a boy, 16. So it was kind of a shock for me. But I adjusted. I went to school here in the north, in Assen. It's in Drenthe, capital of Drenthe. And then I studied in Groningen from 82 until 88. I'm a biologist.
Oh, wow.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going out was mainly Groningen. But I'm also a climber. I used to be a climber in those days. So I went out a lot to France and to Germany. And the parties I remember best is when we were with our climbing party, just going to a, just let's say simple disco in a small village and then going completely nuts.
Oh, wow.
Because nobody else knew who you were. And our purpose was mainly to get the dance floor empty so that we could just go and do our thing.
Okay, so you studied biology as
Yeah.
well. And were you part of a student association? So like a sorority kind of?
No.
No?
I kind of, no. To be honest, in those days, I hated those kind of groups. And I'm kind of an individualist. So, when I said I was a climber, so the climbing that was part of Vindicat, which is, let's say,
the big student.
The biggest one in Groningen. So I went there only because I had to pick up gear and stuff, but I never became a member of it. So,
Okay.
No.
So, and also no regrets then, I think.
No.
No.
No, I can imagine that. You hear a lot about Vindicat, and it's most of the time not
very good.
It's not very good.
No.
I think when you're in the system, like in there, it's probably a lot of fun, but I don't really believe in the whole thing that you have to do stupid shit to be a part of something.
Well, yeah, I think that's totally ridiculous, and I mean, you can't forbid it, but I think they should. Because the things that are happening, it's really ridiculous.
Yes, I agree.
But of course, on the other hand, I mean, it's a really good start for your network, and I know lots of guys and also girls who studied there and who were part of it. They're all in very good positions now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's also a very good start of your career. I mean, I think that apart from the fact that it's fun and it's people to hang out with and just a thing to be a member of such a community, it's also very important for your future career.
I always thought it was kind of the thing they said to lure people in, but it's true. Oh wow, I didn't actually.
And I also can imagine if you're from another city and you're from far away, when you go to a student association, you have it's easier to make friends.
Sure.
And you get like a little family. That's the bond they want to create with each other.
Yeah, I already lived there. I already lived in Groningen. I had friends, so there was no need for me to become part of that.
Yeah. So what did a normal week look like for you then?
Well, university was, I think, different than it was today. It was very, very classical. Going there, having lectures, and we didn't have PowerPoint presentations yet. I mean, this is how old I am. So we had this professor sitting in front, writing stuff on I don't even know the English name of the machine, but he was writing, and we could see on the wall what he was writing, and we were just trying to copy everything to get all the information out. And then afterwards, going home, studying big books like this, doing lots of exams. No group work. I think there was only one occasion, because I also wanted to become a teacher already then. So I did a course to become teacher. And then we worked with a small group. But all the other things was individual. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds really different from
it
what we have now.
Yeah.
And then, so you went to school, and then after, did you go every day? Was it like a thing to every Friday hang out at the same bar, or? No.
To be honest, I don't think I'm such a party animal to start with. So I did go out occasionally on Saturday evenings. So there were these different bars that I went to. From the first year on, we had a mentor group. So there were, I think, 3 or 4 older year students that you could hang out with, but those were not in a bar, but at someone's dorm.
Okay, yeah.
And then we played games like Yahtzee and stuff like that, silly games, and drank beer and had fun.
Yeah.
I think that was once every 2 or 3 weeks that we did that. But it was mainly in the beginning of the studies, and then later on that stopped.
That stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was more the little party-vacations with the climbing group that was.
I think that became. I know that became much more important later on. Studying was one thing, but my life was climbing. So every weekend I was off to Belgium or France or Germany climbing. Yeah.
And partying.
Yeah.
And partying in the evening. Yeah, specifically Saturday evening. It sounds silly now, when I'm older. But when you got there, you must imagine these climbing areas. It's just in a rural area, so it's not in a big city. So it's just a small village with their local disco or discotheque. What's it called? Yeah, I think so in English. Yeah. Right. And then there were these girls with nice clothes on and were dancing like this, And then these climbers came on like doing crazy, and they were like, "Who are these guys and girls? Get them out of here!" And there was also sometimes fighting going on.
Oh, really?
Sometimes, yeah, because when we got too drunk or too too wild. And then the guys would come in and get out of here.
Yeah.
So we had to.
What are you doing in our village?
Things like that. Yeah. So we had to quickly get out and run.
Run.
Yeah.
You didn't climb away?
There was no climbing there. No.
Was not like an après-ski that you have to ski down.
No.
So did you ever went to festivals or something?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we had these huge festivals like you have today. I think Pinkpop was there.
Yeah.
But sadly, I never went there. But there was smaller ones in the city, like Sterrenbos. It doesn't exist. I mean, the Sterrenbos still exists, but there was a small festival going on there with bands performing there with names like Fischer Z that you probably have never heard of. What's the other one called? I forgot the name, but yeah, there were lots of bands performing there. So I used to go there. Yeah.
And then did you do just a little drink in the grass, or was there a little grass
A little grass to smoke always. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
in
you
those
were
days.
a pothead.
I wouldn't say I was a pothead, but I did smoke some. Yeah.
And did you ever experience with other drugs?
No, never.
No.
No,
LSD or
never. No. It was always I never wanted that.
Was it that popular at that time to do drugs like nowadays, or wasn't it that much?
Yeah, I don't think it was that much like it was these days. I mean, specifically let's call it, I'm not sure that's the English phrase, the artificial drugs, so let's say the non-natural ones.
Yeah.
Like LSD. That it was there, and I've seen cocaine, and I've seen people using it. But in my opinion, I don't know the facts, but it wasn't used that much.
No.
I think it's been used much more these days.
I think also smoking weed felt, I don't know why, but it feels like back in the days it was more chill, and it was more like, okay, let's smoke a joint and just chill. And I also feel like when you smoke a joint now, it has to be like, we're going all the way, we're going to be so stoned, and I don't know, it feels like there's no mellowness anymore about it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't compare because I don't smoke it anymore. But in those days, it was really sitting down and passing it around. And that kind of atmosphere. Also, not that much. At least for me, just one or two joints that would already be a lot. I think it was also in those days much. Well, I think more difficult to buy it. I mean, we didn't have coffee shops. There was this one place, Vera in Groningen, that they had house dealers, so they were called like that. It was kind of official that you could buy. It wasn't so much weed; it was more hashish.
Yeah.
So that was what I smoked a lot. So there were no coffee shops that you could go to.
Do you miss the old days, the hanging out, the sitting in the grass, smoking grass?
No, that's just not the kind of person. I'm trying to live in the present.
In the present.
Yeah. I do miss the climbing though. I mean, but I consciously at some point decided I'm going to stop.
Also for maybe because when you fall, you get a little bit older.
I have a family.
Yeah.
So I just think it wouldn't be honest to just risk my own life and with them staying at home. Because it's risky to do it. So.
Yeah, I think you can also say that would be a little selfish if you.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of discussions with fellow climbers about this, because some say climbing is my life.
Yeah.
So if you kind of forbid me to climb, well, what's left? So that they can be very extreme in that. And they say if you choose to become my partner, and if you choose to start a family with me, you have to realize that I'm a climber. And that's a viewpoint as well. But I can relate to it more or less. But for me, that didn't work. It's just, for me, it was a conscious choice to start a family.
Yeah.
And then I think you have to be there for them.
And because I hear a lot of people in my surroundings that they're getting older and they're scared of getting older, actually. Like, was there for you a point where you're like, okay, I'm an adult now and I feel like an adult? Because, I don't know, I still feel like a child and I'm 23 years old.
Yeah. I mean, that I hope for you that will stay that way, because and it's weird because people look at me. I'm 62. They say this old man, but I'm still the same boy. I don't feel different than I did when I was studying or something. I'm still the same person. So I just don't think it works that way. So just never grow up.
Never grow up. Okay. So is that also a tip you have for our listeners to never grow up?
Yeah, well, maybe more live in the present, you know, and try to enjoy what you're doing. And if you figure out that what you're doing is just no fun for you, whether it's your study or the friends that you're hanging out with, then start thinking about, okay, am I in the right place? Am I doing the right things? But I think that's more important.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good tip.
Yeah. I think it's hard to live in the present, though, when you're a student, when you have so many things to do and collect, and you have to plan for your future, you know?
Yeah, as well. But then still, the present is always there, you know? I mean, you are going to college, to school, you are hanging out with friends, you are studying a certain thing, and you know, it will never be 100%, yeah, this is great, you know, that hardly ever happens. There are always upside and downsides to think, but as long as you're good with having a good feeling and thinking about that future, you can say, okay, but you know, I'd still like to make podcasts when I'm 42 as well. So you know, and then you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But if you're really in doubt about what you're doing all the time, then you really have to start asking yourself questions.
I think for a lot of people, it's important to understand you don't have to do it. You don't have to do everything nowadays. At this moment, you have all the time in the world to achieve your goals and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Well, yes and no. You know, I don't want to make this too serious, but I got pretty ill when I was 58. 58, yeah. So I had to leave school for half a year to recover. And if the illness would have been worse, I could have died as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, in addition to what you're saying, if there's something that you really want to
do it now.
Do it, you know, if you have the possibility, and don't wait.
Because you
never know what's going to come next.
Yeah.
You can get hit by the bus, you know.
Just do it now.
Just do it, yeah.
And I have the song, do it, do it now. Okay. Yeah. Talking about songs, do you have a song for our listeners that reminded you of the old days, that was something that has a memory attached to it for you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with songs, right? Once you hear it, there's always specifically ones from the old days. There's always a memory that pops up. So I could give you maybe a dozen different answers to this one. But let's say I listen to the Police a lot. They made really weird music in the sense that it was reggae, but they were all white. And reggae used to be more of from black people.
Yeah.
They even had I think an album that was called Regatta de Blanc, which is kind of, white reggae, you could translate it into. And they had the song Walking on the Moon. And that's really a strange tune. And when I hear it, it reminds me of Iceland, by the way, because I studied the Dutch for a year, the Dutch language. That didn't turn out to be a good choice, so I quit somewhere in April, and I still had some money on the bank, and my brother said, I'm going to Iceland for the summer, you want to come with me? So I went with him, and we went on what do you call this, a hike there for 2 weeks. And, you know, Iceland is volcanic, so it's a lot of black ash and really weird landscape. And every time I hear Walking on the Moon, it's like walking on Iceland again.
Oh, wow.
So that's the association that I have with that song.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.